it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Hi, villains, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. I'm a bit early, but I said, why not, considering I've often been a bit late for Team Sheet Tantrum for Aston Villa versus Everton tonight. Wanted to just kind of come on a small bit earlier because I might need to leave a small bit earlier as well. Team Sheet Tantrums during the week sometimes can be a small bit difficult, but we try and get them in as best we absolutely can. Yeah, I hope everybody is doing well. I'm not really sure what kind of team they're going to put out today, but not really sure what team they're going to put out today. I'd imagine, like, I want them to go with the exact same team that they played at the weekend. Maybe John Duran comes in for Ollie Watkins, maybe. But I'm open to be surprised. I'm open to be I've got nothing in mind, should I say, about this team tonight, about what team they're going to put out. The main thing is, I say, and look, sometimes I kind of find the Team Sheet Tantrum can be a small bit redundant because I don't really. There's a lot of times that we kind of sit here and we make. I'm not going to say make excuses for players that are starting. That's not what I mean. Because we don't. Because I genuinely, if I say that I can see why a player is playing, I can understand why they're playing. And yes, somebody says about Olsen, no, absolutely no Olsen. Martin is in there if he's fit. Yes, but like if I say that I can see why a player is playing, I'm saying that. I'm not just trying to toe a party political line or anything along those lines. But realistically, and I've said it before, I don't care if they trot out Doris the tea lady in central midfield. As long as we get 3 points, that's really what it is. But it's also one of my favorite shows to do the Team Sheet Tantrum because there's always an air of excitement. There'll always be somebody who'll be excited to watch the game in the chat, and I find that that's infectious because I'm always excited to watch the games. Now there'll also be people who think that we're going to lose the game 6-0, and that's fine. That's the beauty of fandom. Everybody is going to have their highs and their lows, their peaks and their troughs, and as I say, that's the beauty of having such a diverse and such a great fan base. So with the team today, as I say, like a couple of people mentioned there, obviously no Olsen, I prefer to see Martinez in there. We know who the two centre halves are going to be. It's not going to be Diego Carlos anyway that's going to be playing there because Unai Emery said that he was injured and he came on social media and said, actually, I'm not injured. So it's, there's something in that. I think that would say that he is out of here, and I think that he will not be here come the end of January. I think the club are actively trying to get not rid of him, but I think the club are actively trying to sell him, and that's fine. I don't see many issues. Whatever the club feel they need to do, they're going to go and they're going to do it. And I think they're going to be kind of aggressive from that point. We see there won't be any Jaden Philogene as well. There won't be any Daniel Malin who signed yesterday. He's not going to be. He wasn't signed in time. He can't be registered in time, but he probably will be on the bench if not starting against Arsenal. So we're seeing a small bit of turnover. I've seen photographs on social media today of Yashin Ozkan at Villa Park today. So I would imagine that's going to be announced pretty soon. And yeah, there's a bit of movement there, but obviously they're not going to be involved tonight. And it's going to be about seeing who is playing tonight. But we've a limited deck to shuffle from, and the team is out now. And we can just pop this up on the screen. So just give me 1 second. I'll bring this up. Whoa, what's coming up there? All crazy sorts of stuff. So here is our team today. It's Martinez in goals, Cash, Konsa, Mings, Digne, Tielemans, Kamara, Onana, Ramsey, Rogers, and Watkins. On the bench, Robin Olsen and Joe Gauci, Kostin Jelkovic, Lamar Bogard, Ian Matson, Bailey, Buendia, Jim Aloba, and John Duran make up the subs bench as well. John Duran on the bench and Watkins starting today. So no massive change there. Bailey's out of the team. Ramsey comes in. Onana comes into the team for Barkley from last weekend, and Ramsey in for Bailey, I think. But apart from that, it's going to be interesting to see how this team sets up, presume it's going to be Rodgers in the middle, and it's just going to be a box midfield then after that. Where does Onana play? Like, is Ramsey going to be on the right? I know when he came on, he went on the left. Did he go on the left and Rodgers went on the right the last time? I think there'll just be a bit of fluidity with regards to that, and how they set up and where they actually set up on the field. Paddy's supposed to be jumping on here, and he's texting me. That's why maybe he isn't able to get on. Maybe he doesn't see it. Can you get Paddy, you have an invite. It's in your, I can see it here in my sent box here. Yeah, I'll send it again. Sorry there, Paddy's looking to get on. I sent a link earlier on, Paddy, to your email if you're looking, and I'll send it again there. Nearly give out your email address on the podcast, Paddy. That wouldn't have done, would it? Nearly called out your email address there. But yeah, so Lewis is wondering what kind of midfield is a box midfield. You're kind of looking at that where are we going? That 4-2-2-2 kind of setup. Two holders, two kind of more narrow players, like we played when Unai Emery first came in. We would have played that with McGinn and Ramsey further forward, behind either Diaby or mostly it was behind the Bailey and a Watkins. So it was almost very narrow kind of setup that we had with a 4-2-2-2 as essentially set up. It was narrow, and then it broke wide when it needed to be, but always the base formation was in a narrow 4-2-2-2 formation. Potentially we go back to that today. I don't know. I just don't see a right winger there as such. I don't see Tielemans being out in the wing. I don't see Onana being out in the wing. Maybe they put Rodgers over on the right and Ramsey over on the right or something. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We'll see what way it sets up. We'll see what way it sets up indeed. I did send it because you're in there. I've got two of the box. Two of them. You can see two of them from sent to your.
Well, only one came.
Anyway, we're in there. Well, we're in there. We're in now. So that's the main thing. Anyway, how are you getting on, Paddy?
I'm good. I'm very good. I'm excited. I think this is a hugely important game, and I think we need 3 points. And he seems to have picked a team that, look, he's taken Bailey out of the limelight there. It's hard to say. I presume Tielemans will be a bit further on. Is that what you suggested?
Yeah, I think it looks more like a box midfield. I think Rodgers will probably play higher up near Watkins. You'll have Tielemans and Ramsey, Kamara and Onana, and then you'll have your back four and Martinez. Look, it's either that or it's going to be Tielemans in the 10 position. Rodgers or Ramsey will start on the right-hand side, and then the other person will start on the left-hand side. That's kind of how we finished up against... forgot who we played now. Against... I can't remember who we played last
West
time.
Ham.
West Ham. That's it. Yeah.
West Ham.
And West Ham. That's who we played. So look, it's going to be something along those lines. Doesn't really matter what way we set up. We've got players in the field there. Go out and get 3 points. That's kind of where I am now with this game. Playing against Everton. Last time you're going to have to make the trip to Goodison Park. 3 points. Results went our way last night. We got the draws where we needed them. A win today brings us on level on points with Man City. 2 points behind Chelsea in fourth place, and a point above Bournemouth. You know, it's incremental progress again with 3 points tonight, and that's the main thing for me. Whether we play 4-2-2-2-2, whether we play 7 at the back, it's all a matter. Go out and get the 3 points today, and I think that team should be good enough to go and get 3 points.
Yeah, absolutely. I said just there, I think this is vital. I think it's vital because I'm not expecting 3 points the weekend. I'm expecting PGMOL to overturn their wonderful penalty or this penalties that they lost on last weekend. I don't know whether you can hear me or not. You seem to have disappeared. Can you hear me okay?
No, I got you loud and clear.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm not expecting anything at the weekend just because of who we're playing and where we're playing away. And I think that's mostly how I put myself into those positions, because I'm not too disappointed by the end of it. But for tonight, obviously, Goodison Park is going to be bouncing. You said it's the last time we play there. It could be. We could get them in the cup. You wouldn't know if we managed to stay in the cup past the next round. You never know. But our fans will be bouncing tonight, I would imagine, as well. And they'll be bouncing because we've got a new signing under our belt. We've potential new signings coming in. It has been, the cards have been shuffled there a little bit with no Bailey, and it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, I think the big thing about you mentioned there, the cards being shuffled, is we're back to a situation again whereby I could conceivably see 5 substitutes and not weaken to a drastic amount the team. And that's where you want to be. Yes, you can name 9 substitutes, but managers go into games and they go, yeah, I've got 9 people on the bench. I'm probably there's only probably 5 of them that I'm really going to shuffle from, unless we have injury issues. And potentially that's going to be the case tonight. He names 2 goalkeepers. He's named Bogard and he's named Jim Oloba. You know, Bogard's a substitute centre half. We hope to God that doesn't need to that doesn't happen. We don't need to do that or to shuffle to that extent. Because we don't want. I personally don't want to see that today against Everton. I just don't think he's this is the game for it at all. But you could, like, I'd be disappointed if I didn't see Maatsen, Ned, Bailey, Buendia, John Duran all come on. And that impetus from the bench against West Ham really helped us the last day. And I'm hoping that we get those bench warriors again, like we had at the start of the season, because as we started to pick up nicks and niggles, and we started to decrease our bench, not so much our bench options, but our input or the output we were getting from the bench started to decrease, so did our on-field performance. And I want to see that tonight. I want to see 11 men go out in the field, give it balls to the wall, and have our 5 players to come on and utilize them and see that extra added impetus of energy, because they are energetic players. Like for all we talk about Leon Bailey, he is energetic. He does get up there. Like when he gets the ball at his feet, he yes, he's final ball and stuff like that hasn't been there, but he is pacey. He can do that role. Nedeljkovic the same, Maatsen the same. Buendia is all energy, and John Duran is going to get bums off seats because we haven't seen him in 3 days, 3 games, should I say? And he's probably got a B up his hole as well over the way he was sent off. So yeah, bring it on. I'm liking the first 11, liking the horses we have in spare as well. And while you're talking about that, Paddy, I will bring up the Everton team.
Yeah, look, reiterate most things that you say. The big news from Everton is that we see Dominic Calvert-Lewin obviously in attack. Was obviously going to happen. We've got 2 players coming back in Idrissa Gana Gueye and Ashley Young starting, which I was happy to see. I'm looking forward to seeing Morgan Rogers up against against Ashley Young, and maybe Tielemans against Mikalenko on that side, I would imagine. He's gone the Mike Bassett English manager route, as he always does, in a 4-4-2. So it could be a 4-5-1 in fairness. But I would, it's 4-5-1 really, isn't it?
It's 4-5-1, yeah. I would imagine Harrison and Ndai wide, and then Decore and Magala.
It's more than likely a 4-2-3-1, isn't it?
I'd say so, yeah.
Yeah. So you'll have Mangala and Ghana sitting behind Harrison, Decore, and Ndai, with Calvert-Lewin up front.
And once again, I'm not going to say that I know the number 45 or the number 67 for Everton, but I just spoke about our bench warriors that we have. They can come off the bench there, our finishers. They've named 2 goalkeepers here as well. I've got a funny feeling they're not going to make 2 goalkeeping substitutions. If they do, that means we've put a load of goals behind them. They've got Patterson, Keane, and O'Brien, 3 defensive options in the bench. They've got Beto, who there's talks will be on his way to Torino by the end of the month. They've a Lindstrom, who they brought in, who hasn't really hit the ground running, and then they've got their 2 guys in Armstrong and in Sheriff there as well. So, like what I'm talking about, we have to come from the bench. Their bench options are very much in defence with the beanpole of Beto. And yes, Lindstrom can play football. He can play in the wings. He's not a bad player at all. He just hasn't really hit the ground running for Everton. So when you take out the likes of Dwight McNeil and those guys that they can bring in, you know, their options become limited very, very quickly. So that's why I want Villa to start really quickly today, no conceding early goals. Allow our guys to empty the tank and bring on our 5 substitutes, because I can't see them bringing on 5 substitutes. I just can't. Could be, you know, it's not. One of the, and where's AVFC Stato when we need him? I've nothing to back this up. I have no evidence. I have no statistic or anything. But David Moyes, I would say, just doesn't strike me as a manager who making 5 substitutes would sit well with him anyway. You know, just that type of manager. It just doesn't.
He's old school. And in fairness, I'm sure there's Everton podcast somewhere looking at our team going, who's Jay Gauchi and who's Jay Jimo Aloba. So
yeah, absolutely.
I'm telling you now, number 12 there, only he's listed as the first man on the bench. I wouldn't know he's a goalkeeper either. So there is there's definitely incomings at Everton, as there is with us, and they're going to need incomings because they're full of injuries, and it doesn't show any sign of getting any better. I'm expecting a win tonight, Neil, and I just feel that this result, I could park Saturday no matter what happens Saturday if we get 3 points no matter what today. Saturday, I think anything we get is a bonus. I think 3 points is a must today.
Yeah, and look, it's not beyond the realms of possibility that I've just looked up a man's name here. Martin Sheriff comes off the bench and there's a Federico Macheda. It's not beyond the realms of possibility that Harrison Armstrong turns into prime Ross Barkley when he was as a midfielder. You know, when he was at Everton coming through as a 17-year-old. Everton do have a history of plucking 17 and 18-year-olds out of nowhere, and them those guys making their names early. All you have to do is look at the likes of James Vaughan. You go back to that vintage. There was a 70 Leon Osman. What was that other guy? Was it John Joe Baxter or something like that? His name was. His name Jose Baxter or something like that. They've always gotten a young fella that comes on, has an absolute barnstormer, gets people talking about him, and then ends up somewhere else pretty soon. So that's not denigrating Harrison Armstrong or Martin Sheriff either, because he's seen fit to put them in there, and he's only been at the club he has only been at the club a wet couple of days, never mind a wet week. So yeah. So Paddy, you were saying, what did you say? What did you say a score?
I'm gonna go 2-1. I think I'd be more than happy with any win, considering, and correct me if I'm wrong, the 19th of October, nearly 3 months since we won an away game in the Premier League. So
last 5 in a row.
That's how big this is. So I'm predicting we stop the rot today. I'm predicting that guys will see new incomings and get their finger out and be a lot more resilient and stop them from scoring early with their first bloody shot or their first attack. So look, we have to learn lessons from this, because teams are just going to go, should they've got a soft centre, let's get at them early, get the goal, and sit back like West Ham did the other night and absolutely frustrate the shit out of everyone in the stadium. So we can't afford any of that tonight, because David Moyes' team at 1-0 up is very, very hard to come back against. So he is the master of grinding out them results. So we just cannot let it happen tonight. I think a win tonight is a must. I'd be really frustrated if not.
Yeah, it was Jose Baxter, but Ronan Riley, you're right. John Joe Kenny was another one, and obviously Ryan Rooney there as well. But Jose Baxter was your man's name. Is he still playing? Actually, let's see. No, gave it up. He's 32 years of age. Gave it up in 2020, playing for Memphis 901. Another team I never ever heard of before. But anyway, best of luck in your retirement, Jose Baxter from Bootle in Merseyside. Yeah, I'm going to go, Paddy. I'm going to go with under lights against Everton. Villa usually show up. I will go back to Wesley's goal where he went down the side of Yeremina and stuck it in the back of the net. I can't remember what the final result was that day. I think it might have been 2-1. I'm going to say Villa are going to score 3 goals tonight. I'm going to go with 3-0. I'm going to go 3-0 tonight. And I know it's bonkers, but look, we're never writing this crack anyway. I just feel good. I feel good today. I'm not saying that Everton are going to be a pushover at all. I really am not. But I don't know. I just want to see Villa score goals. There's no scientific basis in this. I'm just going to say it. Yeah, 3-0. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Fair enough.
Where are we? Francis Jeffers is another great shout as well from John Griffin. Yeah, the Fox in the Box got his £10 million move to Arsenal, and
Danny Cadamarteri
was just about to come out of my mouth as well. Yeah. Tony Hibbert, another fella as well. See, I'm telling you, they've brought through these players. I think Cadamarteri was bought in, but still. Rich Burton is going for 2-1. Pop your scores are in the in the chat there as well, guys. Junior's going for 3-1. Brian Kavanagh is saying we're going to get 6 points this week. I would love it if we did. John Griffin is going to go with 1-0 to Villa. Mr. Ponge is going for 2-1 to Villa. 2-0 says Ronan O'Reilly. 3-1 says James Francombe. Greg is saying he was nervous during the week after seeing the team sheets going with 3-0. Tielemans, Watkins, and Ramsey. Can we just take a scrappy 1-0 win? Absolutely, I'll take that for sure. Absolutely. I want to see goals tonight, preferably from our side. Sai says 2-0 to Villa, I presume as well. So there's Mr. Sensible says 2-0 as well. Techno Obliterator says about your handoff for 3-0, but he thinks 2-0 as well. Richard Knows says 3-0. Where else are we here? 5-3 says Richard Parks. Shane is going for 1-1. Brian Kavanagh saying that 3-0 is 22-1. Interesting. I just seem to have a lot of wedding funds. How confident do I feel? How confident do I feel? Yeah. Wouldn't that be gassing to try and explain that one?
The wedding's off.
The wedding's off. David Stiles, have to get over my stag first. That's in a couple of weeks' time. David Stiles says 1-0 to Villa. Flange is saying 3-1. Richard Burton is going for 3 goals away from home and eyes up. Yeah, I know. It'd be a big one if it was to happen for sure. Kurt is going for 2-2. Stephen Neto is going for 3-1. Paul Miller is going for 3-1 as well. 3-1 says Jordan Levy. Declan is going for 2-0. 3-0 says Yoggington. Luca is going for 2-1. Simon's going for 2-0. Captain Nugget's going for 3-1. Whisper the Heart says 8-0 with a Watkins hat-trick. Bear in the Garden is going for 3-0. Dick Gobanko is going for 4-0. John Duran is going for 2-0. Jordan Pilgrim, Jaden Philogene is going for 2-1. Dusty Ali is going for 4-3. John Steele is going 2-0. PD is going for 3-1 Villa. Hat-trick for Dina says T-Lai and a 3-0 Villa win. 1-0 on Anna says Marine Boy. Gene Taylor says 2-0 Villa. 2-0 says Audrey as well. Jack Humbo says 1-0 to Villa. Converted Wife says 2-1 and Cash is saying 3-1. Greg is going 3-0 to Villa. 4-0 Villa, says Nick. 2-0 says David Dwyer. Michael O'Brien says 4-0. Peter says 2-0. Andy Haley says 4-1. 3-1 says Tyra Roblox that it can't happen. We have a clean sheet. Debbie Hingley says 3-0. Paul Wolfenden says 3-0 as well. Daniel Mannering says 2-1. John says 2-0 with Duran off the bench. Osdrum's going with 3-1. Dean Blackwood is going 3-0 Villa. 5-2 Villa, says Dean Murdoch. Jonathan Brown is going for 3-2 Villa. Martin is saying a 0-all draw. Aaron Cunningham is going for 3-0. And Daniel Mannering, thank you so much for that, is going for a 2-1 as well. Yeah. Thanks a million so much for everybody for your scores. We're going to be back as well with a post-match podcast because I am getting pinged here to go in and get children ready for bed. So I better wrap this one up pretty quickly. Yeah. I just wanted to say I got the 150 shirt, came in the post today, and I like it. And let's see if it's going to be the lucky shirt because I don't usually wear Villa stuff on previews and post matches and team sheet tantrums, and some of that's out of superstition. So let's see if this is going to be good luck or bad luck. And if it's bad luck, well then you all know who to blame. Come back in and watch us in the post match and give me the pelters that I very much so deserve if that is the case. Because I am definitely the black sheep if that is the case. That we do go.
I think it might be me that's the problem wearing a short of a different club. But anyway, there you go. I just doubted it, Jim.
Yeah. Shelburne. Well, it's okay. At least Shelburne won. At least they're champions of their league. So, you're bringing some good juju in that aspect. Damien Duff's club, Shelburne. Right, so we're going to leave it at that, guys. Thanks so much, everybody, for joining us. We'll be back bang on full time with a post-match podcast. Come back and join us then, and hopefully we'll be talking about an Aston Villa win. In the meantime, everyone, stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the Villa!
Up the Villa!